All right, in today's segment of Real Home Buyers Question, where we answer real home buyers questions relating to the market and what's keeping them from qualifying. Today's question, we have um, this scenario here. So we just lost our home, even though we were set to close in 2 weeks because we couldn't get the loan approved due to me being out of work for 2 pregnancies back to back for maternity leave in 2019 and 2020. We are devastated. This was her dream home. Please pray. We were so close. So to address the situation here, as far as this particular scenario, this is caused over the employment gap, which means she was working, she stopped working, and then she came back to work. So as far as the guidance from whether it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, USDA, VA, FHA, the guidance on that is that they want to see you have a 2 year work history. It doesn't have to be 2 years at the same job. What they're looking for is that you have 2 years as a combined history. Now, if your gap is 6 months or greater, then the policy does have a shift. If you have a 6 month or larger employment gap, then you must be at your current employment for 6 months, and you must have a 24 months, 2 year work history prior to the gap. So at that point, they could not be able to, let's say you were working for a year and 6 months, then you had your 6 months or the 6 months or larger gap of employment, and now you have 6 months at your current job. They wouldn't be able to put those six with those year and a half. They would need you to have the 2 years prior the gap and then 6 months of the current. If it's under 60 days, they would want you to be have 30 days of pay stubs at the current job. If the gap was less than 30 days, then everything just continue as normal. Now, maternity leave are normally in the United States 2 weeks to 12 weeks. I know with some extenuating circumstances, they could extend the maternity leave further. At that point, the letter of explanation, and then you would need to be 6 months at the current job, as long as you also had a 2 years, 24 months prior employment history. And this situation right here, having two maternity leaves back to back, this would have employment gaps of, let's just say for the sake of default numbers, 3 months on the first one and then 3 months on the prior one, because she didn't trigger the 6 months of employment gap as far as together. As long as she had her time at work and the 2 years prior to that, the lender should have been able to assist her. Now, again, lenders do have overlays. Some lenders require you to be 2 years at the same job, actually. But if those cases like that arise, always reach out to a lender that has limited to no overlays. Unfortunately, I have found that most of the big banks, retail lenders, do have significant overlays. Most of the aggressive lenders that I've found have been on the broker channel, mortgage brokers, because they have this wholesale lenders who actually take more risk by underwriting loans the way that it is required, insured by the loan program, loan agency. So this is why I'm a big advocate that brokers are in fact better, because they do have access to significantly more flexible guidelines, only because of the no overlays or very limited overlays to programs like this. It's a shame she was so close. Loan officers should have caught this. If this would not have passed because of their guidelines, the loan officer should have at least taken a very thorough application and seen in the application that they were not hitting the dates required, and should not have pre-qualified this person, had them go under contract only to be denied 2 weeks within the time frame, or at least know their guidelines enough to know that this loan was actually doable, and talk to the underwriter to be able to get this cleared. Again, I hate seeing people under contract and having the loan denied after the fact, because the loan officer should have done due diligence up front, and they shouldn't have gotten this far. But that's the answer to this question. And we'll leave it for another one the next day. Thank you.